Okay, so I have to know, what insultingly low offer does Zuckerberg make to Elon to buy Twitter before copying it?
I just like
That's so savage. I was like, but that happened. Zuckerberg called him up and was like, I'll give you a bill for Twitter right now.
I'll give you a bill. Like you 44.
I'll give you a bill for Twitter right now.
I'll give you a bill.
And Elon's like, no. Are you serious? And
next day, launch. You're dead.
Totally.
You've been zucked.
Hey, on today's show, we're talking about the new Meta Threads app, Instagram Threads. It is hot off the presses. It is growing like crazy. What do you and your business need to know about Threads to take advantage of this new opportunity? That, and we're going to break down all of the fun around it on today's show. I'm your host, Kipp Bodner, CMO at HubSpot, joined by my co-host, Kieran Flanagan, CMO over at Zapier, and this is Marketing Against the Grain. Kieran, we had the 4th of July holiday in the U.S. Everybody was having hot dogs, watching fireworks. And then the fireworks actually came on the 5th of July when Zuckerberg rolls out a brand new Twitter competitor. Zuckerberg and Elon been fighting and literally talking about hosting a fight.
In a Coliseum.
Like in the Roman Coliseum where they actually physically fight each other. And Zuckerberg's just like, you know what? I'm going to fight you online, and launches a new app called Threads. And Kieran, I'm going to break it down for you because one of the weirdest things about Threads is you can't use it.
I cannot.
Because it is so data sketchy that they're not launching it in the EU because they do not want to entice EU regulators.
Yeah, they are.
So Threads is not available. So for example, last night, Kieran, I set up my Threads app. You can go through and search. Anybody who has an Instagram account, you can search and basically follow them so that if they join, you'd follow them on Threads. And I know you have an Instagram account. You don't use Instagram, but you have one. And it wouldn't even show up when I searched Threads.
Oh my God.
Because you were in the EU. So first kind of knock on Threads, not in the EU, not available in the European Union.
Add it to the list, Kipp. Add it to the list.
I had a list of all the things Kieran wishes he could have or do and just can't because he lives in the European Union.
I was thinking about this morning, like, give us optionality. Like, I'm fine with you take all my fucking data. It's not worth anything to me. And give me the apps. Like, I don't give a shit. What am I going to do with my data online?
It's all about the apps, baby. All about
just give me the apps. I still haven't got Bard, just so you know that. Like, that's where we are.
You don't have Bard, you don't have Threads, you don't have 8 Sleep. You're getting crushed over there, my friend.
If anyone listens from 8 Sleep or anyone knows anyone from 8 Sleep, it's ridiculous that you sell in Belgium. In fucking Belgium.
They're selling in Belgium now and not in Ireland?
And not Ireland.
Oh.
Come on.
It's rough, bro. It's rough. I'm sorry.
There's some people out here not sleeping well that need some 8 Sleep mattresses.
Here's I wake up hot in my sleep and I need my mattress.
I wake up hot.
Yeah, we all do until you get the 8 Sleep. The 8 Sleep fix it. 8 Sleep should be a sponsor of the show at this point. Jeez. Okay, but in all seriousness, so Instagram launches Threads. In the first 8 hours, it gets 10 million users.
10 million. Only in the UK and US. It's only launched
Only launched in the UK, US, 10 million users in the first 8 hours. Not Bananas. 24 hours, not week, 8 hours. How did they do it? Well, the first thing they did is they piggybacked off Instagram. So when you download the Threads app, Kieran, and you go to set up, it automatically knows if you have Instagram installed on your phone, and it just gives you your Instagram username on Threads and allows you to port over your bio links, anything from Instagram, and all of your connections and all of your graphs. So if anybody's already on Threads, you can follow them. And you can follow anybody who you follow on Instagram. You could basically opt in to follow them on Threads if they join. So you automatically build like a community here very, very quickly. And I think that's I cannot explain to you, Kieran, I've not had this many notifications on my phone about follows and unfollows and everything in years, because it's I'm getting one every 10 seconds around people using Threads. So there's definitely a lot happening with the early buzz and momentum about Threads.
So how do you categorize Threads? So I was trying to think through this, right? So LinkedIn, I create something because it's business related. Twitter, I really don't know what Twitter is anymore, if I'm being totally honest. And then Instagram, do you think Instagram becomes a little bit more business? Because Threads are inherently for content creators who tend to create things around business.
So first of all, Kieran, you have to understand Threads is a separate app.
I know it's a separate app, but it feels like it's going to be very overlap with the Instagram crew.
Well, first of all, speaking of that overlap, do you want to, everybody watching, you want to hear something sketchy?
I love sketchy stuff.
Kieran, I sent you this. What happens, let's say you and I, we're playing around on Threads a month from now. We're like, you know what? It's kind of not worth our time. We want to delete our Threads account. You know what we have to do?
Delete your Instagram.
Delete our Instagram account. It's so connected that if you want to remove Threads, you have to delete your Instagram account.
Zuck's playing for keeps. He's been on the Warrior Forum.
He is savage.
Doing sketchy
That is a savage move,
stuff.
my friend.
I love that. Zuck woke up and thought, I'm going to go to war.
I kind of love it. He's like, I'm going to take 1% of the people who are working on augmented reality, have them build a Twitter clone. And by the way, it looks exactly like Twitter.
Oh, love it. I love it.
Like I'm Team Zuck. It is a complete and utter copy of Twitter.
I think Zuck's a badass.
To the name, by the way, to the name. It's called Threads. The biggest thing that happens on Twitter right now are called Twitter threads. Everyone uses the little spool of thread icon to start their thread. And the UI is the same. It's bananas. So lesson number 1 for everybody watching the show is don't leave the door open for your competitor. Like, don't make it easy for your competitor to come in and copy you and not have a ton of differentiation. Twitter's problem is that they've had a bunch of issues scaling. They set rate limits over the last week for how many tweets people could look at and all of this stuff, which is a big, big problem. And that just opened the door for somebody like Facebook, in this case, to come in and disrupt them.
Right.
So lesson number 1 of today's show on Threads is don't open the door. Keep that door shut, people. The second thing here is like how they're onboarding folks is a masterclass. It is super simple to get set up because of the connection with Instagram. And they're porting the entire Instagram graph over to this new app instead of starting from scratch.
It's the power of platforms. Twitter's a feature, not a platform. This is the core problem.
What Zuckerberg is sneakily doing here is he's saying, hey, the more you invest in the Facebook and Meta ecosystem, whether it be Instagram, WhatsApp, Threads, Facebook, whatever, the better you're going to be down the road because we're going to connect all of these things and you're going to have a better ecosystem going forward.
It's your online identity. That's what he wants.
Look, I don't know if Threads is going to take off or not, but I can tell you that every minute you're spending on Instagram just got more valuable now. Because the better your Instagram presence gets, then the better your Threads presence gets. And that's pretty freaking powerful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. One of the maybe mistakes that Elon has made is, in my personal opinion, was he just leaned too much into politics. And I think people would be happy for a platform with less political.
Yeah, I know we can throw it up on the screen. There's a good exchange between
with him and
Zuckerberg and Cuban on the platform
where Cuban says, "You sure you have to open this up to everyone? It's pretty nice right now. I made some people on here." And then Zuck's response was like really interesting. The goal is to keep it friendly as it expands. I think it's possible and will ultimately be the key to its success. The one reason why Twitter never succeeded as much as I think it should have is because it didn't do that, right? And they want to do it much, much differently. And I think that there's something in that where I think, and maybe Zuck's going to do that because it's tied to a personal identity. It's hard to have like more of these anonymous accounts. Yeah. But I think one of the things that is a way that you can attack Twitter is to try to have a place where people can leave all of that political things to one side and just much more focus on the content, much more focus on, that's why I was interested in your take on, do you think this is going to attract it's going to be much more like a business, like a business or a personal account?
I look at Threads and I'm like, wow, this is just an extension of the Instagram like creator economy, influencer economy movement.
Mr. Beast has 100,000 followers already.
100,000 followers on Threads already?
Yeah.
In like a day.
Yeah.
Freaking crazy. It's going to be like the app is growing.
By the time I join, it's either going to have succeeded and everyone has so many followers. I'm like this dumb fucker who has like no followers, or it's already like crashed and burned. And then I get access. I'm like the only one in there. So there's no one to follow. So like either way, I'm screwed. Like on the either end of the spectrum, I'm screwed.
Ladies and gentlemen watching today's show, this is one of my favorite moments. My favorite moments is when Kieran is screwed either way.
I lose either way.
He is destined to be a pessimistic Irishman, regardless of what happens. And the best part about it is, not only that, it's going to take forever till he knows which one's the outcome.
I know.
He's going to be complaining about this on episodes for like the next
I need the new
6,
thing.
12 months.
I hate not having the new thing. I am the new gadget person. I want one of the ultimate launch tweets of all time was the one I sent you in a WhatsApp. We'll put it up into the screen.
Please.
Zuckerberg coming to life from Twitter 7 years later. First of all,
tweeted in 7 years. His first tweet in 7 years.
No Twitter blue, so he does not have the blue
he's not
tick.
Verified.
I agree with you, Zuck. I'm getting rid of mine this month because all I use it for is bookmark functionality. But he comes in with the tweet of the Spider-Man pointed at the other Spider-Man, totally trolling Elon with like, I've just copied your tool. What are you going to do about it? Fight me in a cage fight? Because I'm going to absolutely destroy you if we end up doing that. I thought that was awesome.
Couple things, because we only have a few minutes on the show left. Do you think people are going to use both? Yes or no?
No, I just don't think there's enough.
I think this is a winner-take-all market. Zuckerberg thinks he can get to 1 billion users. If he can get Threads to 1 billion users, Twitter's done. Yeah. So that's the one thing I will say here is it is going to be fascinating over the first month of this to see the trend line. And I think we should kind of commit to checking in like a month to see where everything's at.
You'd have to do a screen share.
I will. I'll do we'll set up a little mobile screen share so I can tell Kieran all about it, show him what's going on. My one kind of counterintuitive question for you, Kieran, is like, is this worth Zuck's time? Like, is this opportunity actually like big enough and like worth enough money that it's like actually worth Zuck's time?
I don't think it's worth. And all of the other things that he's working on, I suspect this is the lowest in terms of opportunity size, amount of revenue.
Yeah, like is this worth distracting himself from the AI opportunity, for example?
We're all petty humans. To destroy, to get one back on Elon, to like, make Elon eat some humble pie.
This is the point I'm making. This is just a pure ego play. This is not actually a good capitalism
I guess
play,
if it like,
right?
I guess the reason it might be worth it for Zuck is just the additional data, like just continuing to like
it's building out the graph and building out the dominant.
Yeah, so I'm building out the dominant, like building out the platform.
Kieran, I don't know if you saw a friend of the show, Alex Lieberman, founder of Morning Brew, was on the show. Go check out Alex's episode. He had a tweet. He's like, okay, so I have to know what insultingly low offer does Zuckerberg make to Elon to buy Twitter before copying it?
I just. Like,
that's so savage. I was like, but that happened. Zuckerberg called him up and was like, I'll give you a bill for Twitter right now.
I'll give you a bill. Like you 44
I'll give you a bill for Twitter right now.
I'll give you a bill.
And Elon's like, no. Are you serious? And
next day, launch, you're dead.
Totally.
You've been zucked.
Well, actually, Zuckerberg probably couldn't even buy Twitter because regulators would stop him from doing it. So he did kind of have to build it in all honesty. Okay.
So Zuckerberg woke up one morning recently and chose war, and I've loved it ever since.
He did
CrossFit. He's been CrossFitting. He did jujitsu.
He was like, "Look, I've been meditating for the last 7 years, and I'm done.
I'm done. Now it's war time.
Time to go to war." Okay. In all seriousness, if you're a business, if you're a marketer out there, how should you think about Threads? I'm going to start with my take. Is that historically, new applications give the users some extra leverage to get users to adopt the platform. And normally that leverage comes up with better discoverability in their algorithm and the ability to more easily send people to destinations from that platform, whether it be a subscription, a product, what have you. And so I think 24 hours in, we don't know the answer to that. If one of those two things are true in Threads, then if you're a business or you're a marketer, you're like, hey, I've got maybe a 6-month arbitrage opportunity that I want to really lean into and get more discoverability for my product and the stories I'm trying to tell on this platform. At maturity, I think it's going to turn into just like Instagram and all the other Facebook properties where they're going to try to monetize with ads. It's going to be impossible to, link out or do any of those things. So if you're a marketer and you believe Zuckerberg is going to beat Elon in this battle of Threads versus Twitter, then you should go all in on Threads because the first 6 to 12 months will be a big heyday in your opportunity to monetize audience more effectively.
Yeah, there's always distinct advantages for being a first mover of a platform. The thing that comes with it is there's opportunity cost if you invest time and effort and that thing does not work, like a Clubhouse. Like the person who invested in Clubhouse built an incredible audience and then the thing tanks. Now, if I was going to take a bet on a social app, there's a ton of social apps, right? There was the social IRL that just got wound down because of fabricated users. There's all of these different Be Real, all of these different like social apps where you can go spend time and build an audience. I would probably bet on the one that Facebook's releasing, like Zuck. Totally. He has a history here. So if I'm going to take a risk, it's, de-risked a little bit because it's coming from a person who's built this numerous times.
Yeah, and look, it goes without saying that if a big part of your business is in the European Union, ignore threads. Like that's just like quick check, easy takeaway.
Do
there.
not need to worry. We're going back in time, not forward in time here in the EU.
Totally. But if you're a US focused company, threads could be a real opportunity for you, especially if you have skills and background as a brand in writing, right? Because it is a text-focused medium.
Right.
It's less visual, less video-oriented. I imagine they're going to bring over all of the image and video stuff from Instagram that we'll see and really kind of make a better Twitter, but I think that'll probably take a couple months. We'll see as they kind of continue to roll out updates to threads. But my prognostication is that Zuckerberg's going to get this thing to 100 million users. It's a question of whether it's going to get to 1 billion users or not, is the big question. And I do think at 100 million users, there's enough opportunity there for a lot of businesses to take advantage of. And so you should look at the growth chart, stay very informed, at least get your account set up and do the bare minimum until you kind of see if you want to go all in or not. You agree with me on that, Kieran?
Agreed. I think it's something worth investing in. I would also like to just issue an apology to HSleep because it's not Belgium, it's Sweden. But I still stand by my comments.
I don't know if that's better or worse. And I know I just defeated the Swedes, but I'm not sure if it's better or worse.
Give us the mattresses.
Okay. But that is the story of Threads. Sorry to everybody in the EU, but I love the Zuckerberg Elon drama. It is fantastic. If you're in the US, you should do the bare basics on Threads. If you have Thread questions or ideas for future shows on the Threads app that you want to hear us do, please leave them in the YouTube comments. Always hit subscribe. We'll be back with you real soon on Marketing Against the Grain.
This data is wrong every freaking time.
Have you heard of HubSpot? HubSpot is a CRM platform where everything is fully integrated.
Whoa, I can see the client's whole history, calls, support tickets, emails, and here's a task from 3 days ago I totally missed.
HubSpot. Grow better.